What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Walk 71, replaced there with a 4, and I am here with my NXT Takeover The End review for you guys. Yes, we had 5 matches as usual, and the pay-per-view was good. It was good. I'm gonna call it pay-per-view, even though they called it special. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. There was some points of it that I personally didn't like, which I will explain as I go on with my review. But I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. It matched with the rest of them. I don't know where to rank it right now, but it was pretty good. So, the first match we have Ty Dillinger taking on Andrade Cien Almas. Hope I said it right. Yeah. This match was good. It was a good match for Andrade to debut. And my goodness, is Ty Dillinger not over? This man is over like crazy. As soon as his intro hit, the countdown, the 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, the fans went nuts for Ty Dillinger when he came out. They were 10 chanting with him and everything. I really want to see Ty Dillinger get over now just because of that. Everybody knows about, the 10 gimmick and everything, and Ty Dillinger is going over right now, man. I can see him being like a top star or at least mid-card to top star in NXT soon. You just got to, let some people go to the main roster first to, open up some spots. Andrade, Cien Almas, I guess, which I thought it would be. I was wondering why he had a middle name or whatever, which means 100. And I guess the gimmick behind that is he's 10 times better than the perfect 10, 100, because 10 times 10 is 100. And that was the gimmick of the Cien, and he's probably going to keep it. The fans in Full Sail were like hyped for this first match. They were chanting 10 with Ty Dillinger. They were chanting he's 100 because 100, the emoji or whatever with Andrade Cien Almas. This match was pretty good. It was a good showing of Andrade, of what he can do, and also a good showing of Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger got a lot of moves in. It was even one point where I thought Ty Dillinger was gonna win because he had this super kick while Andrade was like, I guess, trying to celebrate. He was like doing a handstand off the top rope, and Ty Dillinger hit him with a super kick. I thought it was over, and then Andrade hit a couple moves, got his double knee in the corner, which is a pretty good finishing move to have. I like those, strong knee strikes like the Bomaye / Kinshasa. I like all those like hard hitting finishing moves, so that's pretty good. I could see Andrade being a very good wrestler, I guess, a performer in NXT when the time comes. I want to see a match between him and like Hideo Itami, something like that. I don't know. But the next match we have American Alpha versus the Revival. In my opinion, the match of the night. Already, we have the match of the night. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be Nakamura and Aries, but it was this match. And I was right on my predictions too. So I'm going to go right with the results. The Revival won, and they are now 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. But let's get into the match. The match was very good. It was a very good mat-based wrestling match. The match was good. The teams were doing all kinds of like combo moves. Both teams, whether it be the Revival hitting like, I don't know, it was this one move they did where they I forgot what it was, but they did some of their double team moves. Chad Gable, Jason Jordan. It looked like Jason Jordan was about to go for, I guess, like one of those little pins he did. He flipped. He flipped, I believe, Scott Dawson off of him, and then Gable caught him with a German suplex. Another combo. It was Chad Gable jumped off the top rope, double clothesline, a in stereo suplex. Both of them hit German suplexes, then clotheslined them both out the ring. The Revival with the hard hitting uppercuts. They were destroying Chad Gable in the mid match. They were destroying the crap out of him. Like Jason Jordan got like hit a lot, but honestly Chad Gable got beat up really bad compared to Jason Jordan. The hot tag with Jason Jordan was good. He was hitting all kind of T-bone suplexes, all kind of just crazy moves to make him look real strong, and he was getting hyped. He was teed and everything, and a lot of was it mid falls, people kicking out at 2 after some crazy moves. One spot that was amazing was this one move where I believe Dash Wilder holds up Chad Gable for like a power bomb, and then Scott Dawson jumps off. But the crazy part about it was Chad Gable reversed it while still being on Dash Wilder, reversed into a belly to belly suplex. I was so like in shock. I was like, what? I was like so in shock, and I thought he was gonna win off of that, but he didn't. And then they went for the tag. Jason Jordan went for the tag with he went for the tag for the finisher, and they were going to set up for it, and then Dash Wilder snuck in, and he snuck in through Chad Gable over the top rope, and then they was about to go for the finisher, hit Jason Jordan, went for the Shatter Machine, 1, 2, 3. We have new tag team champions, and now your 2-time tag team champions, the Revival. And my goodness, it was kind of obvious that they were going to win. They were showcased a little bit more than American Alpha, in my opinion, and it was no point of them losing the titles at was it Takeover Dallas. There was no point of them losing the titles, because by the time Jordan and Gable got the titles, they already ready for the main roster. Like, it's a rumor that they might be going to the main roster next month, and since Raw and SmackDown's doing the distinctive rosters and stuff, they might end up being on SmackDown or Raw or something, because I think that's where they're gonna go, and they had to lose the titles. But honestly, match of the night right here. This match was crazy. A lot of close falls, combinations, hard hits. It's nothing. That was everything I could ask for in a tag team match, because we all know how some tag team matches are and how boring they can get. But this tag team match really kept me excited and wanting more, and it really raised the bar for these two. And honestly, this is a great match. Much respect to the American Alpha, even though they lost. But after the match, something crazy happened, right? So Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, they're celebrating on the ramp, and they're about to go, backstage, celebrate, I guess, backstage. And I thought it was obvious that they were going to go to the main roster by, bowing their heads and saying goodbye. But instead, they were about to, get cheered for. And these two giant big dudes, I don't know if they're black or whatever they are, were wearing, a black tank top, black cargo pants, big black boots, and they were just beating the crap out of American Alpha. They used they used Jason Jordan to attack Chad Gable. They threw him, and he hit Chad Gable in the leg, and they just beat the crap out of American Alpha. They obliterated them. And just think, these are former NXT tag champs, and they just chewed them up and spit them out like a piece of meat or something. And then right after they finished off Chad Gable, right, a guy comes out with the suit, right? Bald guy. And when I looked at him, I was like, this guy is very familiar. I can't put my name on it. And then I realized, oh, this is Paul Elrig. And I know I'm 16. I wasn't alive when Paul Elrig was around, but I've looked up Paul Elrig, and I remember that he used to manage the Road Warriors, Hulk and Animal, the Legion of Doom. And I remember seeing him at the Hall of Fame ceremony for, I believe it was the Road Warriors or somebody. I remember seeing him. So that's how I remembered him. And I know he managed them. So now I guess he has a new role in NXT, because his daughter is in NXT. She got signed to NXT. So maybe he's on there because his daughter's with NXT. And now he's managing these two big black guys. I don't know what race they are. They just look black or Samoan or something. And from what I've heard, they beat up people at the NXT live events. And I believe they're called the Authors of Pain. And I can tell you, they're probably going to kill every single tag team in NXT. But I don't know if they're going to beat the Revival, because the Revival are heel. They're heel. They're just going to kill everybody. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are about to die if they face them, because they're one face tag team that's kind of getting over right now. And maybe TM61 who might face them. But these two guys, man, I could see them being backup for somebody if only like they had mentioned him and like maybe Samoa Joe, that'd be cool. Like a little stable with Paul Elric, Samoa Joe, and these two, the Authors of Pain. Psst, NXT, nobody would beat Samoa Joe, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Nobody would beat them because these guys are big. Like, my God. Psst, man, it was crazy. I was very surprised. I was like, whoa. But I'm rambling right now. The next match we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Austin Aries. Now, this match was good. It wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't better than the match with Zayn and Nakamura at Dallas, but it was still a good match. Don't get it twisted. It was still good. The crowd was hyped for Nakamura. They were kind of hyped for Austin Aries, but Austin Aries played more of a heel role in this match than usual, even though both of them were kind of faces. But I could see Austin Aries slowly turning heel. Nakamura came out. The crowd was hyped. Everybody in the arena was singing of Nakamura's theme song. But let's get into the match. Okay, so they start off, tussling, and it started off very slow with the tussling, and then they start hitting each other and doing moves, and then Austin Aries would work the leg of Nakamura, and he would dominate Nakamura for like most of this match, actually. And that's probably why I didn't like the Zayn and this match over the Zayn and Nakamura matches, because Nakamura got dominated most of the time. Aries was hitting him with all kind of submissions. He was taking out Nakamura with that diving elbow he does off of the second rope. He was dominating Nakamura for most of this match, and then it got more interesting once Nakamura came back, started hitting a lot of strong style hits to Austin Aries and started actually punishing Austin Aries. That's when it got more interesting for Nakamura, but he got dominated most of this match. At least that's what I saw. The best part of this match was crazy. I didn't think WWE was going to do it, but they did it, and it was incredible. So these two are fighting on the apron, right? So I guess Nakamura was going to go for that little knee when he puts his opponent on the top of the rope, like they lay down. He was going to hit him. Austin Aries moved out the way. He did the little clap where he clapped Nakamura's ears, and Nakamura was selling it. And they started fighting on the apron, right? Throwing shots at the apron. They were booing Aries and cheering Nakamura because Aries was the heel in this match, honestly. He wrestled like the heel, to be honest. He wrestled like a great heel. I wouldn't mind having Austin Aries as a heel. And Nakamura, he got the cheers because he's so over. And then Aries says, screw it. Picked him up, hit him with the old school Death Valley driver on the apron. Nakamura looked like his neck was broken. The way Nakamura knows how to sell. If you saw how he sold that Michinoku driver from Sami Zayn at TakeOver, where it looked like he broke his neck, he really sold it. I thought Nakamura died. And then the ending of this match came where Austin Aries is about to go for a suicide dive through, I believe, either the first or second rope. He went for it. Nakamura moved out the way, and Aries went face first into the guardrail. And here's the thing about NXT: they don't have the regular security wall or barricade. They have the steel, like in TNA. They have steel barricades. Like, I can't think of nothing worse to happen to Aries than that one time in TNA where Austin Aries faced Bully Ray, and Bully Ray pushed Austin Aries, I believe, off the top rope or something like that, and he went back first into the steel barricade, because TNA has steel barricades. Went back first. His whole, I guess, one side of his back was so bruised, it looks crazy. The ending came. Nakamura hit him with a knee off of the second rope, hit him with a nice little back slam. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. Do not crucify me. And then hit him with the Kinshasa, or the Bombaye, whatever you want to call it. This is probably the most hyped the Full Sail crowd was tonight, was for this match, because they died after this. Nakamura won. It was a good match. It was, great match, but it wasn't like a 5-star match. It was decent. I thought Austin Aries was gonna hit a brainbuster on the apron, but instead he hit the Death Valley driver, which is just about as equivalent to on the pain level, I guess. The next match we have Asuka versus Nia Jax in an NXT Women's Championship match. And the way they built up for this match, it looked like Nia Jax was going to destroy Asuka because Asuka's never faced anybody like Nia Jax, because Asuka's been facing like people her own size and stuff like that, and she's been whooping them. And Asuka killed Bayley, and there was even a segment where Asuka was fighting and Bayley even talked to Asuka like she was like training, I guess, or something like that, working on her strikes. This match was like good. It was enjoyable, but the crowd made it worse. The crowd was like dead silent for some odd reason. I don't know why, but the crowd, Full Sail, just instantly got silent. Like, they weren't silent, like they were still cheering, but they weren't as turned as they were for the Austin Aries and Nakamura match. They were just like cheering, but it was barely enough. The match was good. Nia Jax did work. She did more in this match than she did with the match of Bayley in London. She actually looked like an unstoppable force at one point. The only other thing I gotta complain about this match is that Asuka didn't sell crap. She got power bombed, and when Nia Jax went for the pin, she went for an armbar. Like what? When Sami Zayn took a power bomb in that match with Kevin Owens, he sold death. Like, it looked after the first power bomb he did to him, it looked like Sami Zayn died. When Asuka took that power bomb, she just like put her in an armbar. Yeah, Nia Jax dominated a lot. She looked good in this match, and I feel like Nia Jax should have won tonight, honestly. Asuka, the ending of this match sucked. I'm not gonna lie. The ending of this match wasn't good, in my opinion. It was a very hard-hitting match, it was the strikes. The crazy part was, okay, so Nia was on her knees, and then Asuka kicked her in the head, I think, and then I guess Nia started, how they do in like New Japan, or not just New Japan, just in wrestling in general, when they fire up the fighting spirit, and then Asuka kicked her into misery. But I should have thought that would be in 2 count, but it was a 1, 2, 3. Asuka retains. I was like, what? That's the best way to end this match, is just to have Nia Jax get fired up, just to get kicked in the head again and then lose. Like, to make the match more epic, she should have kicked out. That would have been better, in my opinion. But what made it worse was the crowd was like silent. They barely reacted. Most of the rest of tonight. And these are like the major 2 championship matches that NXT's been building. It was like Asuka ending Bayley's championship reign, and then Nia's trying to take it away from her, and then Balor and Joe. The reason why it's called the end, but whatever. The ending was I just wish it was a better outcome that could have happened. The match was all right though, very hard hitting. I like that. I like it to be a hard hitting match. Asuka retained, and now we're gonna get Asuka versus Bayley soon. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. So then after that, we had a backstage segment, right? William Regal. It says earlier today, William Regal's talking, and he's talking to a reporter or whatever backstage. And then some random black guy comes, and then behind him it's Bobby Roode. Yes, Bobby Roode was behind him. He walked past William Regal. William Regal felt like so shocked. Bobby Roode went to some room, and then the black guy started talking to William Regal, whispering in his ear or something. And then he went to that room. I guess they were talking, and I guess it's supposed to build some kind of speculation that Bobby Roode was going to interfere in the main event, the steel cage match. I'll talk about what happened later, but at least it's basically confirmed that Bobby Roode's in NXT, even though I kind of knew because he's touring with them when they go to London. So he's practically signed with WWE and NXT. So we have the main event. We have Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor in an NXT Championship match in the first ever steel cage match. Wow, this was very, very, very brutal. I like the match. The match was good. I'm not going to lie. Finn Balor's demon entrance was the best I've ever seen. You could put it on record. I think this is better than any other Finn Balor demon entrance, in my opinion. He came out crawling, right? They had the cage pieces in front of the stage or the set or whatever. And he would come out looked like he was like trapped, and then kicked one of the panels down and then walked out. And the crazy part was Finn usually wears like white and red and black or whatever. He would usually always mainly have red, but tonight he had black and white. And that was, I guess, supposed to build speculation that he's going to, the WWE's version of the Bullet Club, the Club. I don't think it's nothing. It looked clean. The entrance was clean. And then not Balor. Samoa Joe came out looking crazy with the championship, looking ready to fight, ready to kill his demon, exercise the demon in Finn Balor. The match was crazy. Samoa Joe would literally toss Balor into the cage. Balor got like no offense for the first couple of minutes. Like, he would get dominated almost, and then Balor got a lot of his moves in, and he got a lot of work in. He got a lot of stuff in, a lot of kicks, a lot of thigh slapping, a lot of strong hits. Joe hit him with a muscle buster, and Balor kicked out. Balor hit a coup de grace, and Joe kicked out. So that was very interesting, showing how much they really want this championship, that they would kick out of like other finishers. That's how like a finisher being kicked out of should be executed. And in like a major match, that means a lot, and not just a regular match like with AJ Styles. The championship match where he kicked out, where Reigns kicked out of the Styles Clash, it made sense, but it just happened so much. It happened a lot in WWE, but I'm rambling. Balor was about to escape the cage, right? Samoa Joe was on the top rope, grabbed Balor off, because Balor was like literally this close to winning. Balor got taken off the cage. Samoa Joe standing on the top rope, positioned for the muscle buster. Samoa Joe jumps off of the top rope for this muscle buster, and he kills Finn Balor. He literally killed Finn Balor. 1, 2, 3. Samoa Joe retains the NXT Championship. Oh my God, he killed Finn Balor. Because by the end of it, they had all kinds of doctors and referees checking on Finn Balor, like he broke his neck or something. I hope Finn Balor's alright, because Samoa Joe, because they're gonna ban that move if Finn Balor gets hurt. Because the first time like a problem has happened with it, Samoa Joe hit a muscle buster on Tyson Kidd on like a WWE Superstars thing or something like that. He hit a muscle buster on him, and he broke Tyson Kidd's neck, and Tyson Kidd hasn't been back since. I hope Finn Balor's okay. I hope he's just like selling and everything. The crowd was like dead silent once. Joe killed Finn Balor. Like, it was dead silence, and I was like, why isn't the crowd reacting? Like, come on, react, people. But then it was brought to my attention that they possibly have seen like Balor's last match in NXT, which I do understand. But then boo Samoa Joe, because he caused that for Balor. He caused Balor to not possibly wrestle in NXT again. Boo that. They just were silent and shocked and stuff. And Samoa Joe retained. Balor is, possibly going to the main roster to join the club. That was the point of them killing the demon, so that because he's probably not going to be no demon when he's with the club. He's probably going to be very serious. Another thing that happened, we didn't get Bobby Roode at the end, because everybody speculated just because he showed up backstage, he's going to have some kind of part in the pay-per-view. I thought Team TNA was going to form with EY, Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, and Bobby Roode, but nobody made any appearance. Each match was had a clean finish, and the only like crazy thing that happened was the Authors of Pain and Paul Elric. That was pretty much it. Yeah, this takeover event was good. I liked it. I give it an 8 out of 10. It could have been a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for that retarded ending for Asuka and Nia Jax match. That ending was like trash to me. But I give it an 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. It's in between there. It's not a 9. It's not a 9, but it's definitely not bad. See, this is hard. Screw it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. 8.5 out of 10. The special was good. It's probably gonna be better than Money in the Bank. Let's see. Let me read what else. Let me make sure everything else I have in my notes is completed. Yes. One thing I want to get on. I want to get on the Full Sail crowd. They are so much of spoiled brat. They tonight they proved that they are some spoiled brats, and that NXT needs to get out of Full Sail, because Full Sail is spoiled brats. They get all kind of, incredible 5-star match of the year contenders all the time since 2014. We can go back to the famous fatal 4-way between Tyler Breeze, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, and Tyson Kidd, and how good that match was. And we can go back to the match between what match was it? It was probably one of the best NXT matches I've seen. Sami Zayn and Cesaro. We can go back to there, fam. We can go back to the rise of Seth Rollins. We can go back to, wow. Full Sail has been so spoiled. They've got so many incredible matches, and they feel like they can just do whatever because a specific match wasn't up to their standards. Like, they're like spoiled brats, bro. Like, I'm really realizing this. Like, at first when Vince Russo talked about them and said that they need to calm down, like they're sitting here chanting, we're not worthy to watch this match. They're spoiled brats. Like, me in Chicago, like whenever I go to a wrestling pay-per-view, we usually get maybe one good match. We don't always get like 5-star matches. It's very rare. And at the NXT show I went to in Chicago, it was good. And we enjoyed every single match. We cheered for every single match, even the Eva Marie match. But these people were silent for a lot of the matches. I just don't understand that. I'm not going to rant too long. I want to end this video. You know what to do. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do what you do to support me. Support everything. Follow me on all of my social media sites down below. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.